You might be applying for an assistant psychologist job, or you might be working with an assistant psychologist. In this video, I'm going to explain what do assistant psychologists do. My name's Brett, I'm a trainee clinical psychologist. In this video, I'm going to talk briefly about my experiences of being an assistant psychologist. I've divided up what I used to do into three broad areas. So first, we'll start with the data-driven tasks, on to the tasks I did with different people, and then the administrative tasks I had to do. Let's start with the data-driven tasks. As an assistant psychologist, I used to be involved with different research projects. This might be collecting data from participants or collating data that other people have collected, and generally checking through the data and putting it into a format that's useful for analysis. I was also involved in service evaluations. A service evaluation is where you want to find and evaluate one aspect of your service. For example, it might be that you've got long waiting times or you're receiving lots of referrals and you want to make some kind of decision about how to improve that process. But to start off with, you need to collect and analyse the data. As an assistant psychologist, I was really heavily involved with this. I was also involved with getting feedback from family, carers, or clients themselves. This is usually done through a questionnaire, and it helps for the service users to be able to give feedback anonymously to what they really thought about the service that they got. I also had feedback from staff members. If we had a new system we'd implemented, we'd often get feedback about it to make sure we're doing the right thing and we hadn't got anything wrong in the process and increased everybody's frustration. The data-driven task can be really valuable to the service. It might not be everyone's favourite thing to do, but it can be invaluable to making decisions about how to improve the service that you're delivering. As an assistant, I also worked with people. This took three different main areas that I remember. So first, it was group work, and then individual work, and teaching in no specific order. So group work was always a really fun aspect of the role. So it might be that you helped run a support group. This often could have been for carers, people who were caring for service users who accessed the service you worked at and just needed a space to share their experience with others and connect with other people who were going through a similar thing. Or, as an assistant, you can help run emotions groups, for example, or different groups that impart psychological information to others. These are known as psychoeducational groups. Or it might be that you're helping facilitate a group with a qualified psychologist. So this might be a mentalizing group, it might be a mindfulness group, it might be a CBT group. And often as the assistant, you're helping prepare the different resources for the group, but also you're really an active participant of that group. Also, I had the privilege of working with people on an individual level. This often meant I was helping clinical psychologists to deliver specific interventions. For example, between a person's therapy session, it might be that I helped them with an exposure test to help them move closer towards achieving the goals they wanted to aim. It might be that I went through a questionnaire with either a service user or a family member. Also, in individual work, sometimes you would do psychoeducational work as well. It might be trying to understand emotions, or it might be trying to teach different techniques to people in line with the therapy that they were receiving. For example, it might be grounding techniques, or breathing, or relaxation techniques that you could help people to learn. But the most important thing is, as an assistant psychologist, it's all under supervision. You're not making these decisions alone, and you will be able to discuss all the work that you're doing in supervision, and hopefully that will help guide you through the process and learn more about what you're doing in the process. As an assistant, I also did some teaching. This was also a fun part of the role. So the teaching could have been psychoeducational in nature, and it could have been to other staff. For example, you could teach people how working memory is understood, or theory of mind. Or it might be how anxiety works, or how we might understand low mood. But it might also be about other things, such as teaching your staff people how to use the new waiting list, or how to use the new referral form. This information is really valuable to a team because it helps everybody to be on the same page and everybody has the shared knowledge to work efficiently together. And as an assistant psychologist, you're going to be doing lots and lots of administrative work. Now, it's not everybody's most fun task, but there were a few different things that I had to do. So I might have had to take clinical notes from the groups that I helped to run, or the individual sessions that I'd observed or been part of. I was also involved in report writing, so often there was an end of year report where we'd have to use all that data we collected, analyse and put it into an easy digestible format. This would also help the service leads to decide on what to focus on through the next year or so. It might be that you have to create a new IT system. I was very fortunate. I have some computer skills and was able to use those to help improve some of the systems that I was working within. And it might also be that you have to put data in. Now, it might be the research data like we discussed before, or it might be logging how many referrals or how many people attended groups. Anything that might need a record and might be useful to store as a service is often input by the assistant psychologist in my experience. Now, admin tasks are not everybody's most fun part of their role. However, it can be a really useful way to start developing your own skills in different areas, and these skills are going to be with you throughout your career. So you might find out what you're good at, what you might need to improve on, and that will just help with your general professional development. It also is a good way of developing your own style and deciding what kind of professional you want to be in the future. So there's a snapshot of the few different things that I used to do as an assistant psychologist. So we looked at data-driven tasks, how I used to work with people, and the different administrative tasks that I did. Thank you very much for watching my video. Hopefully you found it helpful, and if you like my channel, please subscribe and comment below. I look forward to hearing what you thought of this video, and if there's any other videos you want me to make in the future, please let me know in the comments below.